So yeah, like I said, we're celebrating, fatherhood today. And as much as it was yesterday, we definitely want to bring it to you today to express our gratitude to every father out there. A friend of mine would say, I mean, just give gratitude to all the responsible and the irresponsible ones. It doesn't matter. But even with the term irresponsible, it's based on the individual. You can just bust out and say every father is irresponsible or most fathers are irresponsible and everything. Epi, you got something to say? Okay, but anyway, before we get into that, we're also going to be touching or marking World Refugee Day was yesterday, very important one, and like I said, looking at the ECOWAS summits that happened here in our base Ghana as well. But before we continue or start conversation on celebrating fatherhood, now the IGP here in our base Ghana said something interesting. He said irresponsible fatherhood costs rising. It actually causes the rising is one of the reasons why crime is on the rise here in our base Ghana. Hafiz, let me have your take on that one real quick.
Why are we talking about this? Why are we talking about crime and fatherhood in the same sentence?
I don't even.
Why are we doing this? Seriously, why?
It's an irresponsible fatherhood.
I mean, I'm not trying to take a swipe at motherhood or anything, but you don't get to hear these similar conversations when it's Mother's Day. Okay, so why are we bringing this up on Father's Day?
Really? I don't even know why. I chanced upon it and I'm like, why even say that? Is it because of the rampant nature of crimes?
That's the
IGP.
He tweeted this.
Yeah, it's a statement. I think he delivered a speech at a press conference or something. I don't know.
I saw a news item about talking about how he deleted it or something. Anyway.
Yeah, but he did it.
Something, but I didn't know.
It's not about even if he deleted it, he said it. That was what was in his mind at that time. Irresponsible fatherhood.
Unbelievable.
Epi,
Barry,
what's your take on that? You want to swing a bat?
no.
You see,
but I think it's not a fair comment to make.
No, it's a terrible one actually. It's a terrible comment to make, because I mean, when it comes to conversations around fatherhood, I believe, many of us have actually sat back and allowed persons with terrible father experiences to hijack the conversation. We've allowed them to direct the conversation on fatherhood, and
cloud our judgment, huh?
And I think that's
not fair.
That's what has allowed this whole situation to pervade. Because yes, I mean, just as we have good fathers, we have bad fathers.
Oh yeah,
it's just normal. Okay, it happens every now and then, and so to even put crime and just fatherhood in the same sentence, because it takes two to actually raise a kid. Yes, to raise a kid. So okay, so what happened to the motherly influence?
Yeah,
so it's not a fair comment to make.
Right.
But away from his
let's celebrate fatherhood today. We were not here, but how was it? What did you do? Did you call him?
How did I celebrate it?
I was asked by Effie. I only had a conversation with my pops.
I knew this was coming.
Yeah.
How did I celebrate it?
She didn't take him. He drove them out. So I'm wondering who did this? Who did?
Wait, Daddy took them out instead.
Yeah, and this is how it went down. So they showed him where they wanted to take him. He used his car, his fuel, drove.
Even on days they are celebrating, you still have to pay for it.
Exactly. So they picked a spot or an outing space for them to go and celebrate him, and he had to drive with his own fuel and money there and there. I was trying to find out from her. I was trying to find out from her. Exactly. I was trying to find out, and he gave me the money. But anyway, interesting there. But how was yours yesterday? Did you engage in any conversation, text message, anything?
Not at all. I think I was busy doing other
Mommy,
stuff.
if Mommy was here, I should say you're a terrible son. You know that? I'm just saying it on her behalf. I'm not me. I'm not the one saying it. I'm just saying on Mommy's behalf. That's what Mommy would say.
You're becoming or becoming?
I'm not becoming. because I'm just reiterating what. Okay.
But I mean, for my, I don't know. Our relationship is.
Are you struggling?
It's not so simple.
It's so official, eh?
We haven't been around each other a lot, so to actually develop some sort of relationship.
Yeah.
So it's usually very formal with him. So, because every now and then when he calls or I speak to him, it's mostly about football, really.
Right.
Yes. So,
Football and all.
yes, when he wants to probably say he misses you, it's like
That's where you push the conversation to.
It's a very easy conversation to have when you have football in the mix. So maybe he hasn't spoken to you in a long while.
Okay.
And he wants to talk to you.
So
maybe there's a Black Stars game going
the
on, a Chelsea
icebreaker.
game going on.
The icebreaker is the football.
Exactly. So I mean, we both share a crazy love for football. So
I know, right?
he calls you and then I was like, hey, did you catch the game? And I'm like, oh yeah. Then I give my analysis. He gives his analysis, and then. Like,
But why do you think there's a lots of what do you call it? Noise or publicity. Let me put it that publicity when we are approaching the the Mother's Day month or the Mother's Day itself than Father's Day.
Well, largely I think it stems from the fact that already activists or gender activists will tell you that we are in a patriarchy, or the rule of the father. It's a society that already gives so much to fatherhood.
Okay.
So, of course, when it's motherhood,
you want to make it so special.
Exactly. You would think that will put more effort into it. So
okay.
It's only natural that you realize that motherhood is amplified a lot more these days than you would have fatherhood.
Okay.
Yes, and so you would get that a lot. But then, with fatherhood in itself, I mean, it's one of those areas where you realize that not so many people are too bothered about it, which is quite strange. Like it's just an area where you have they want to be appreciated, but they won't make noise about it if it doesn't come. Because I mean, a lot of men from birth are made to understand that one day you'll be taking care of a family.
Right.
One day it is going to be up to you to show leadership.
To make decisions.
Tough
ones, huh?
And so it's like as a young man you grow and immediately there's that thing at the back of your mind that
you have
yourself.
A responsibility.
Exactly. You're not exactly expecting a 5-star Yelp review or something. You or a medal for what you are doing.
Yeah.
It's like at the back of the mind.
That is what you're
supposed to do. There's an unspoken rule that it's your duty
it's your
to do
duty to do it. Yeah.
Yes. And so we've had instances where individuals that didn't exactly see themselves being fathers in a particular point, all of a sudden
they're fathers. They have a baby,
and they have to step up. Or
and even society will tell you, Charlie, now things have changed, huh?
So it's one of the toughest jobs because it's like, okay, so what do you do?
What formula do you take?
You watch fathers that say even have girls and they reach that part of their stage or growth stage. And
how do they even communicate?
How? And they struggle.
What advice do they give?
So it's a tough job, really. It's a tough job. Because personally, when I look at my father and certain things he does, as a kid, there was so much I blamed him for. Now, here's a man that for so long was a bad guy in my books. And I blamed him for certain things. I didn't even understand certain decisions.
Right.
And this was a man that didn't even bother explaining himself to me. But I think later
down the line,
I'm starting to see the wisdom in some of the decisions.
And even appreciate him.
Appreciate him further. And every now and then, sometimes I just feel like, when I catch myself doing certain things I accuse him of,
right,
I'm tempted to pick the phone and call him and say, hey, I'm sorry for things I said back then.
Kudos to you.
Because it just hits you. Like,
right, that's very interesting submission right there. So one can say that sometimes it's I think most parts, the reasons why some people really put a lot of blame on fathers for not being there, and it's because maybe the lack of understanding of what they were going through at that time. Like you can't explain what he was going through at that time.
As a father, or in the society we live in, as a man, you are made to look. You can't complain about what you are going through. So there are so many men that are going through it, but you go talking about it. You are labeled a weakling.
Yeah.
So you are saying it. So what do you want?
There's a term in Nigeria called woman rapper. We be woman rapper, my brother.
What do you want us to do? I don't know if you get me.
You're a man. Man up.
Man up. So you have a lot of them bottling all these things inside, and they just don't have an outlet. They don't. maybe every now and then you have your mom vent to you, and she's more expressive, so she's allowed to tell you. And even when she vents to you and you don't say anything, maybe she'll yell at your father for certain things.
Okay.
But as the man, I mean,
you speak
where's
less.
your outlet?
You speak less and you do more action.
It's all about the action. And you watch him, and I'm like, well, I can only pray I'm half the man he is when I was age. Anyway.
Right. All right. The show was Africa Daily on Africa Global Radio. We're celebrating fatherhood today, in as much as it was yesterday. We're doing our path today, and you're welcome to join us as well. Celebrate your father, regardless of the situation. I can tell you for a fact. Now, let me get to Epi. I mean, you know how our society at large is more a patriarch society, and it is more of like you already have that idea, preconceived idea that growing up you're gonna have a family and it is your job to take care of the family. Do you think society has done a good job in that regard, or has contributed to the problem where fathers sometimes run away from their responsibility because they are scared of being part of it, and then their children growing up tend to hate them for something that they never intended to happen?
I think society is responsible for a lot of things. More like the kind of culture and tradition we came to meet is responsible for a lot of things, which normally, I mean, per experience and things, you realize probably this shouldn't have been done that way, this shouldn't have been done this way.
Right.
But I don't think we're currently in the age and day when we just want to keep blaming and not do something about it. Yes, the whole patriarchal thing exists. We see it in different instances. It still happens. Innately, it was embedded in people, and they show it during different situations. But I believe that how we relate to the things and how we work towards them is the most important thing. You have fathers that... I know male friends that cry. Not sob like women, but I mean, they don't come and wail. They cry when the things overwhelm them. They talk about it. I feel when you're equipped with the knowledge and the understanding, you should get to the point where you break free from the societal hold and be able to work towards it. It doesn't mean that, I'm just dishing everything behind and just going to do me. No. But then you learn how to apply logic to everything that comes your way. Sometimes you can't do it all. And not everybody has a good father. Not everybody has a father who's present.
Right.
Not everybody has a father who provides. Some people have to fend for themselves. And so many things, but I feel that it shouldn't be an excuse or reason why you don't, if you actually do get the opportunity and the knowledge or the chance to be able to know better, you shouldn't do better. You should do better. Yes, it's patriarchal and all that, and women are fighting these days for and this and that and that. And I mean, there was this post going around where there was a schoolboy holding a bell, ringing it, and they had written, "This Sunday is Father's Day." It was supposed to just communicate a funny message, but it was just supposed to be like, make the usual noise you would make about Mother's Day. And it's not like Father's Day is not there. It is there. But I feel people don't pay much attention to it in certain cases because people are making packages, people are having events and things. But then it's so funny, it's like you just don't get to hear it. It's quiet. It's happening, but it's quiet. And then you're wondering why. With certain men shirking their responsibilities, I mean, I'm not in the best place to make a reason, an excuse for them. But look, if you can't, you can't. Because somebody doesn't have the skills. He doesn't have a job. He has a wife. He has like 3 children he has to feed. He doesn't even know how he's going to go about it. But then the fact that he also doesn't know that probably he should seek help. Or he's not been brought up in that light where he has to be able to open up and ask for help when he needs help. The best thing is to, I can't do this.
Right.
Bagam, he's gone.
He's gone.
So I feel that the upbringing is very important. Yes, it's good to tell the boys that be a man, be this, but it's also good to let them know that you can be vulnerable. We're not saying that you're impenetrable. You actually are vulnerable. But then also how you would handle responsibilities are different from how a woman will handle it. And you're born into a time and age of society where naturally it's like the work lies on the shoulders of a man. So it's best to know how to do it, because you can't keep doing it all the time all by yourself. You will break down. You will need help along the line. But how you go and also seek for the help also counts.
All right, thank you, Epi, for your submission. The show was Africa Daily on Africa Global Radio. Don't forget, we're still going to be talking about Refugee Day as well as the ECOWAS summit that took place here in our base Ghana. Hafiz.
Yeah. Still on fatherhood, I think I chanced on this particular post. Someone asking, okay, so aren't we going to celebrate the women playing the roles of fathers in the lives of their kids? And one guy was not having it. I said, look, not today, please.
Enough is enough, huh?
Enough. You can do that on any other day.
Yeah, because we hear that a lot. She is my father and my mother at the same time.
Look, fine. We've had such situations, but not today. That was just it. We've had it. Okay? Not today. I mean, Mother's Day, you don't have people coming around saying, how about the fathers that play the role of mothers?
Mothers, yeah. Well,
yeah. It's just a day, 24 hours. Just let them have the spotlight.
We're done.
What is it? You have to bring this up. And some people are like, no, we are not having it today.
Yeah, right.
We're not having that conversation today. So, but all in all, I mean, fatherhood, I mean, showing leadership. I mean, yes, Epi talked about vulnerability, yeah, and showing emotions and everything. But I think it's a luxury a lot of men don't have, because I mean, you're watching your son freak out over something, then complains to your mom, she's also freaking out. Then she runs to your dad. I don't think he has the luxury of freaking out. So
he shouldn't freak out.
Wait,
Because everybody's ready to
I want to ask, is it every time the mom also freaks out? Because I feel we currently still have women that don't always freak out. I get that thing where it's used to the fact that women will freak out, the children will freak out, so the man has to be the one to be able to. I've forgotten how to say it in Twi, but it's you to when the gun goes or the bullet comes, it hits the chest of the man. I'm just trying to say that I think we should also look at the fact that we have women in this day and age also who are not necessarily freaking out.
It's not about freaking out literally. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm also trying to say it's not literally like they can't do anything about the situation.
But I think our society is built to point the arrow towards the father.
Exactly.
Where everybody needs to have the final say there.
The thinking is, it's not even the thinking. The situation is. He holds the fort.
Let your father get home.
Exactly. He holds the fort. Okay. So yes, she might. But what I'm saying is, either literally or figuratively speaking. What I'm saying is, when the kids and the woman in the house are freaking out over a particular situation.
I mean, the laws go to areas the father's place. Yeah.
The man doesn't have that luxury. Even though he's also.
Because if you freak out, then what are you?
Everything is gone.
Yeah. What are you?
I never get.
Yeah.
So he's the last line of defense there in that.
Exactly.
In that
Yeah.
Okay, having to hold the ship steady, and it's not like he's had some refresher course on how to do it.
He just has to come up with.
He goes with his instinct. You know how difficult it is.
Yeah.
It's not like you've had training. Sometimes it's him doing his best, and some way somehow he's still not getting credit for it. And so such a day is very important. There are times you just realize he's up to his wits' end. He's done everything in his playbook, but it's still not working out. I mean, we've seen fathers continuously for so many years. They'll tell you they've done jobs they are not happy about, jobs they are not happy about.
But only to fend for the family, at least, just to get
some
money.
Some will go out there and get yelled at by their terrible bosses. Say all kinds of things to them. Situations, if you were standing there, probably you take offense to.
There's this. Let me not cut you short. There's this scene. If you watch Young Sheldon, there's this scene when I think Sheldon did something. I think he was mad at the father, and the father came and sat close to him and told him that, look, I go to the office. The principal yells at me. The football players sometimes insults me. But I don't come home and take it out on you. And that's what's being a father means. That's that moment alone for me was like, yeah, right.
That's the thing. They go out there and do all these things, and when they come out, you see, it's his ability to be able to compartmentalize, because he's out there and getting yelled at.
Pressure.
He knows at the end of the day when he comes home, this is the reason
he's doing that. Exactly.
And there's this sense of fulfillment that comes from just knowing that you are okay. I remember my mom telling me a story about, I think when they started out as a young couple, then she was pregnant with me and Alice, and she could eat for Africa. I mean, she was.
You're not serious.
Eating a lot. So, and I think when they had started, there was very little at home.
Okay.
So the little he makes, and then he gives her her share to use. Then they will sit there. And she's like, your share. Do you still have your share? I need more. Of it."
Hey.
Yes. And interesting enough, it's like something he's always anticipated that.
So he always reserves something
Yes,
for her.
he still
like that.
doesn't. Even though he keeps it as it is a share, eventually he knows she'll still ask for it. So it's just like it was one of the few things she misses about him. Anytime when he's not around, and she's talking about it. It's like that selflessness. It's like he preempts situations. Now this is something nobody sits down to teach you.
Exactly.
It's something as a man you would have to learn. Sometimes even through terrible experiences. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I can only hope to be half the man he is.
Anyway.
Alaji Adam.
Yeah.
Alasan. Thank you very much.
Thanks to all fathers as well. We really appreciate you. Well, I'm very happy. Yesterday we had we had some conversation that we never had in a long time. I feel like I'm fulfilled. I have arrived. I have arrived too. No, because my father, just like you, we never had time to. I think I'm the detached member of our family, our nuclear family, because I've been like everywhere. So we hardly have that man-to-man conversation.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, maybe it's because
But yesterday we had
well,
that we had a conversation, and I actually said something like oh, okay. Like,
no, but there comes a moment as a young man
Yeah,
when you sit down to have a conversation with your father,
yeah,
and you realize that the conversation or he listening to you is not born out of love or care, but it is born out of respect.
Yeah, respect, exactly. I think we had that, and I felt. No, yesterday I felt
It's
I have arrived,
knowing
my
that
guy.
you earn the respect of
Yeah,
your father.
I know, right?
It
It's
leaves a huge
fulfilling.
mark for
Absolutely.
for a lot of guys.
Because my dad is a very difficult guy. When you say something, for him to say, "Oh, okay, we'll look into it," it's like World Cup for me, and we had that yesterday. But thank you very much, Papa.
Enjoy the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.